I've gone pretty hard on Sakte Minso. He stayed pretty good faith. Some bad takes, but respect earned. I mean, he says that he's a Destiny fan, but it feels like everything that he does is like Destiny anti-fan, but okay. I think I don't know, dude. Just a reminder, I don't represent KF. Most of the guys on the thread disagree with me like crazy. Well, I mean, doesn't look, you're a part of it, whether you like it or not. All right? Without you, it wouldn't be the same. See? Um Also, that's fine. Everyone disagrees with everyone on that thread. Also, like, it's not like it's a fucking it's a very disconnected group of opinions and takes. Yeah. Okay. I think we need to go take a look at Tectone and Destiny. Fuck. It might be a little boring though. Sam High versus Fuentes. Nope. Pisco versus Connor. Is it even worth watching? Yeah, okay. Oh, I have to give a little introduction. Introduction. Is Kumin trying to say his community is not unhinged? I don't know if he has said that. So, BC weeks. Okay, who's this? Hello? Okay, you're the last one, okay?
Oh, hey,
What's up?
sorry,
Yeah.
I'm new to the stream. Like this is literally the first stream of yours I've ever watched. I guess I've technically heard of your name before. Yeah, yeah. My thing was I heard people in the chat talking about Kiwi Farms, which I know the internet obviously has like a negative stance on Kiwi Farms, but I'm not going to hate someone if they've ever posted on Kiwi Farms. Like
Okay,
how
why are you
like
telling me this? Well, this is your own
well, no,
personal
no, because
opinion.
it seems like but okay, but I'm saying that it seems like
Wait,
the stance in chat was that like no, I wanted your
well,
take. I
who
wanted
are
your take because
you?
I
Who
mean
the fuck are you? Like, why do we care?
I'm a guy. I make YouTube. I'm a guy. I make YouTube videos. It seemed like an interesting topic. My bad.
Oh, okay, thank you for voicing your opinion, I guess.
Hey, this is my first stream. This is my first stream. My bad.
Okay. I'm gonna close Weight Room off forever now, okay? The room is gonna be closed forever. No one ever. I am never having anyone on ever again. I swear, every single one of them was just me, like, fucking having to push through it. Jesus. I'm kidding, kidding, kidding. Thanks for coming on anyway, okay? It's fine, it's fine, it's fine. Thanks for voicing your opinion, I guess. Ugh. Okay, let's just.
Okay, I heard God killed those.
Okay, real quick. I gotta poison the well against Tectone, okay? Hold on. Where's my well poisoning moment? I was curious of your take. Oh. I think Kiwi Farms is cringe and edgy. I don't think they should be taken down, no. Let's see. No, I think that they go too far with smack talking people, but as long as they don't touch the poo, it's like whatever. Disney. Where's Shamu? Shamu! Sorry.
That was in July. Please stop talking.
Okay, so basically in a shell nut, okay? Most people don't really know this about Tectone, but Tectone is basically an accused rapist, I guess. He has like multiple allegations, and not only that, he's just entirely he is the son of the great rapist, okay? The great rapist being his father. His father is a convicted sexual assault felon with sexual harassment convictions as well from his years in the military. I think that is accurate enough. Is Shamu credible? Shamu is a Thorpe family A-logger, but I think he A-logs other things. But anyway, the point is this, okay? The problem with Tectone is that not only does he have his own sexual assault allegations against him, but not only that, he constantly sweeps for his dad. He lies about his dad, and he's just generally pretty dishonest. Okay, um, and it is just crazy how he navigates this drama, like especially with his dad, right? Considering how his dad was such a famous like sex pest, right? Anyway, I'll show you some. I'll show you why his dad is famous, okay? Because I'm not just saying it for the sake of saying it, okay? Because I want to. I want to like I want to give a little bit of an introduction to who Tectone really is beyond the Gacha dramas, okay?
Hassan would respond, basically calling Tectone a but what happens next
let's
elevates
play.
the story to an all-timer.
Apparently, Tectone, as soon as he came after me and talked about his father's like military record or whatever, the internet found out that dad did the same that he did.
And victims like Heath Phillips. When he told his commander, his report was ignored. The Department of Defense says 19,000 incidents of assault occurred in 2010 alone. Nearly 90% went unreported.
The biggest photo you see is of Colonel Michael Robertson. He was convicted of 14 accounts of assault.
Turns out Apple doesn't fall far from the tree, folks.
Hey, you know they got your mans. They got your mans on assault charges. Yeah, you be hanging with. The you be hanging with. And it was your mans. He was your boy. You grew up with him.
After being embroiled in abuse and allegations for months, Tectone's own father turned out to be possibly the most infamous sex pest in U.S. military history. His father was such a that they literally had televised C-SPAN Congress hearings in an attempt to stop future assaults by using him as the example.
I rise again today to draw attention to the epidemic in our military of sexual assault. 19,000 women and men each year are or assaulted in the military. This travesty is not being addressed, and I will continue to speak out on this floor until it does. Today, I would like to tell the story of one of the 8% that were prosecuted. The story of Colonel Michael Robertson, who commanded Fort Bliss's
So just so you know, I don't even know if Destiny knows about this, but Tectone's father is so famous for sex crimes that he was featured in front of Congress, the United States Congress. That's how famous of a person Tectone's father was, okay, to warrant this much concern, all right? And then later on, I just want to show you guys the way that Tectone, like, has his father on stream. Here.
Do it again.
Daddy issues?
They all have daddy issues. Well, she has a facial expression as if to say, hey, sailor. I like the little short dress. She looks like she works out.
One of the first things Tecto says to me is like, sup, dude? By the way, my 17-year-old father thinks you're hot. And I was like, uh-oh.
First thing he did was he put me into some kind of headset and costume and put me in this AI room.
VR chat.
Am I moving? Oh, my God.
Yeah, so that's chat.
Right, so he actively glorifies his father on his stream and in front of large audiences, rewriting history, okay? Good stuff. Very good stuff, Tectone. Anyway, so just keep in mind, this is who Tectone really is, okay? His true self, not just his wacky gacha game inflatable self, okay? He actively covers for his father and says that people lie about him. So yeah, just FYI. What is this? Heffels. Oh yeah, no, I know about this. If you have any, wait, hold on. If I have any Ukrainian followers, here is the phone number and address for where Kiwi Farms is currently hosted. Do your thing. The site is down, but I know Joshua Moon has expressed warm sentiments to Vladimir Putin, and the site has many Putin supporters on it. I would let them know this. Jesus. What a crazy, unhinged thing to say. Wait, hold on.
Dad is a criminal.
Just a drink. A martini, shaken, not stirred.
Salute for the military grapist 07. Attention.
Hey, Stopper, thank you so much for the $5. I appreciate that. Thank you. Much appreciated. I'm sure YouTube and Facebook has Putin fans on them. The fuck? Well, I mean, I'm pretty sure when Kevos is saying that, just steel-manning her, I'm pretty sure the way that Kevos is saying that is in the context of Cloudflare being in Kyiv, and in addition, so she's implying that you should, like, fucking airstrike Cloudflare or something? I don't fucking know, dude. But anyway. Oh yeah, Tectone talked to Not So Erudite. Did you guys know that? To humanize Tectone. Give me a break.
My dad is a criminal, right? A lot of people like to say, oh, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. We'll get into this right off the bat. I barely knew my father at all.
That's a lie.
I referred to my older brother as my dad.
My father, he's my best friend and my role model my entire life through all these ups and downs. Very nice, good one. Okay.
Those kids, because they were using NordVPN promo code Destiny to get around the Texas ban. I feel like that's so insane to say before their bodies are even like dry.
I mean, I guess, but like Asmongold was literally live reacting to migrant boats flipping over and everybody dying.
And I think this is the problem where what people consider a joke in 2025 is, I'm gonna say the worst thing in human history right now. Why aren't you laughing? It's because
it wasn't even but that wasn't even the worst thing. There's a million worse things. I could think of 10 worse things right now that I could say.
Yeah, so what's hilarious is, I'm not sure if I told you this, the first time you and I met was TwitchCon 2022, San Diego. I think that was outside of a hotel. This was way forever ago when I just played Gacha games. But do you remember this conversation that I had with you about this a couple years ago?
Not yet, but keep telling me and maybe I'll remember.
Where I said, yo, what up, Destiny? Big fan. And you were like, I'm pretty sure I know who you are. And I said, yeah, I'm a part of OTK. And you said, oh, that's why I don't like you. Do you remember that or no?
Oh, I do remember this. Wait, why? This was in reference to something. I was either feuding with... Did this have something to do with Miskiff at the time? Was the Miskiff drama happening at the time?
There's not really a point in time where there's no Miskiff drama happening.
True, but there was a big one. And at that time, I think like all of
I can't believe Destiny's dumb joke was taken more seriously than Charlie Kirk literally blaming the Blackfire Chief for the deaths. Destiny's Foodshops will die as she keeps stuffing herself with that burrito. Let me stuff myself. Okay, anyway. But it's kind of crazy to me. It's kind of crazy to me that Destiny's tweet got more attention, which is good, which is fine. That's what we want, right? But it kind of helps us illustrate the hypocrisy, right? Because if you think about it, do you know what didn't get enough attention? Donald Trump's son tweeting out a hammer mocking Paul Pelosi's attack, right? That was unhinged. The fact that the fact that you know, people don't give, like, they all forgot about it, like, eventually. And also like sexualizing Greta Thunberg or the Pizzagate shooter, right? There's so many examples. There's so many examples of like just crazy shit going down. But then everyone's just like hyper focusing on like, oh, look at this edgy liberal. It's just crazy.
OTK were like enemies about me or enemies concerning me or something. I don't remember, something like this, but.
Well, I will say this, as a guy who was a part of OTK for 3 years, there wasn't really that much agreeing as like OTK as a whole is going to do this. Like there was never like, these okay, I'm trying to think, was there any blacklisting at all?
Yeah, these times Greta was a kid, right? Yes, Greta was a kid. Yeah. How about that sick stuff Fresh and Fit said about the Holocaust? I mean, I don't know what you're specifically talking about, but I get an idea. Okay.
No, I don't. It never got that bad. I think when I said this, I think I was like half joking. I don't think I've ever seriously feuded with anybody.
Yeah, there was also like a big rift between like owners of OTK and like talent of OTK. So as a talent guy, I was never really involved in like the big higher ups on what they thought. I was kind of just a dude who played video games, and that was pretty much it. But I will say, there's been
Gacha video games. Is that?
So I started YouTube 6.5-7 years ago. I played a ton of Gacha games for like 4.5 years. I was ridiculously addicted. It was so bad. I've spent well over like $500,000 on Gacha games in like 2 years, and it just became a horrible issue. But the longer I played Gacha games, the more I realized
Bro, half $500,000? You could have paid for Destiny's lawsuit. What the fuck? Bro. That's crazy.
That you know, it's already bad enough gambling
There's
addicts. It's already bad enough.
I'm
And
not
turn the mic
focusing
up, my
on
guy.
the
My mic
hate.
is like loud as. But my side, no, it's like peaking, bro. Is my mic bad, guys? Is it bad?
Wait, do you do this with your stream every day too?
Yeah, no, this almost never happens. Like, I feel like my mic is insane.
Oh, you're fine on my end. Ban that
Okay,
guy.
yeah.
Ban that guy. Ban him. He's trolling you.
Yeah.
He's trolling you. Ban him and dox him.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, ban that guy. But yeah, I realized that I would always try to like talk about things that I believed in this gaming space, and people just didn't really want to hear it. So I kind of lead more into like reactionary and like commentary. Also, Asmongold just recommended that I try doing like reactions and commentary. He even told me to copy his thumbnails. I originally copied Mizkif and Ludwig's thumbnails, but Asmon's are a lot easier because my editor does them for free, whereas like the Mizkif, Ludwig thumbnails cost about $50. But now I'm more so into commentary and reactions, and I have been so for probably about like.
Okay, you can't be paying... Dude, okay, who the fuck is paying $50 for thumbnails? I shit out thumbnails that look way better than anything. For free. Ridiculous.
2.5 years by now.
Okay, I want to ask a real last question. Okay, ready? Okay, and I'm embarrassed because it's been a long time. I don't actually know what the gacha game is. It looks to me like it's like basically loot boxes, and then you get like characters, and there's not. Is there like actual gameplay when it comes to gacha games, or is it just like loot boxing animated characters?
So the majority of them you just masturbate to. There's not really any gameplay. It's kind of like pull the new character and then come.
Okay, but where does the gambling come in from?
So the gambling is to get the women that you come to.
Oh, come on. There's no... Dude, there's no fucking chapters for this? I just kind of want to skip to the drama, but...
Or the men. That's very rare.
Is there no gameplay? Is it truly just buying like characters?
So the majority of gacha games are take a pre-existing formula of a video game and then make it live service. So there's a frequent update for new content every 6 weeks, and then just add a massive pay gate to where you have to pay $400 to $500 per character that you want to use. So like for example, the biggest gacha game of all time copied a game called Breath of the Wild. So Genshin Impact is Breath of the Wild, but instead of getting the characters weapons for free, you have to pay $500 for it.
Oh, so kind of like a long time ago. I don't know if this is still a thing, but on cell phones, there was the Korean MMO formula, kind of.
I think Destiny should know, like, what... Didn't Destiny play, like, some fucking Kingdom Rush game? Not Kingdom Rush game. He played some kind of, like, fucking Kingdom Resource Management game in the past. Like, normally. Lord's Mobile. Yes! Only real ones will remember Destiny playing Lord's Mobile every single fucking day. Okay? Like, literally being the most addicted Lord's Mobile, like, fucking player ever, dude. Only real ones. Only the real OG DGGers will remember that shit, dude. Holy shit.
And people just iterate on like how the paywalls work and everything, but like the gameplay is basically on rails and it's not much of a challenge. It's like buying. Yeah. Okay. All right.
Yeah, and like the Tower of Fantasy, which is another like, MMO on the phone, which is always terrible. But yeah, that's pretty much everything to know about me. I don't recommend them. I do not recommend them. I barely play them anymore. Besides Uma Musume, have you seen that?
I don't. That sounded like a really bad sushi dish. I don't know what that means. I have no idea. Sorry.
Uma Musume. I'm sure your chat knows it. It's anime horse racing.
Okay. Oh, you know that kind of sounds like the thing. Aren't girls fighting over whether or not they should have Mumas on their purses or something? Does that sound like a thing? Do you have any idea what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's probably a thing, man. That's probably a thing.
Oh, Labubus. What is a Labubu? I heard somebody say
that's different. That's way different. Labubu's way different. That's just some ugly gremlin. Uma Musume is like horse girls.
Oh, I've seen the horse girl game. Okay, I've seen that on Livestream Fail. Yeah, okay.
I don't know what the Labubu is. Wait, you still go on Livestream Fails?
Usa
yeah, of course.
Musume?
We have to do we do a call to action every hour. We try to brigade it as aggressively as possible. Anytime we see a Hassan Piker post, we try to post really mean and rude stuff about him so he cries about it on stream. Yeah, it's a hugely coordinated effort. I think I spend probably over $200,000 a month on bots and Nazis to go and spam bad stuff about Hassan Piker.
Okay, good. Okay, so me and you do the same thing.
Yeah.
Awesome. I do that on
Okay.
Geek. Yeah. I don't have as much money as you. So $200,000 a little bit out of my price range. By the way, I did say I saw a clip of you saying that I care a lot about money. I don't think I care a lot about money. I just like being factual with how much money streamers have, which is a ridiculous amount. Because
I don't know what any of these things are booming hard. Egghead, they're literally your same age. They're in your age group.
XQC definitely has like hundreds of millions of dollars.
For sure. Oh, well,
Yeah,
hundreds of million? He might actually from the snake sponsors for sure. Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
He's at least worth 100 million. Maybe, unless he's gambled it all away.
Yeah, which I believe, like, am I crazy? I thought that Stake had like a stake fund where like they give you X amount to gamble. So
Yeah, but it went.
Oh, I cannot care about this.
When getting involved in political issues, like for example, you're someone who researches.
Like conservative somehow get wound up in the entire kind
Here we go.
of mega conservative stuff.
Good night, Stumbling.
So I don't know if you saw that clip where XQC was shouting at me because like Asmongold isn't even right leaning. He's like center, he's center left or whatever. I think the weird thing is that traditionally people would have just been like, God, these like social justice warriors are so annoying online. They're so irritating. And I was like, okay, if you don't have that opinion, that's fine. But now that gets like plugged into, God, these people online are so annoying and woke scoldy. And also, I think that putting children in immigrant cages is actually kind of base. And it's like, wait, how did these two opinions get connected? And I think that's my, I think my issue is that I don't understand how everything gets like wrapped into this huge political move. It's like, why not just like hate woke annoying people without having to go full send on the rest of your political opinions? That's like that's the frustrating thing that I guess to deal with. Yeah.
It's kind of funny, isn't it?
Well, it would be if the country wasn't on the verge of collapse, I think. But yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is this laugh? If this is this laugh real or I can't tell.
For me, like politics is usually like a joke. Like I don't really take it too seriously, to be completely honest. I like to do what other people probably describe as like common sense politics, where I'll talk about political issues where it's like this is obviously the right answer and no other answer makes sense. But like for like Israel Palestine, I have no idea what's going on over there. I have no idea to know what's going on over there. I just don't know. And my other problem is I really don't like trusting getting involved in political issues.
Why is Foodshops Discord link invalid or am I blocked?
Like for example,
can you try joining on mobile?
you're someone who researches things. I 100%, I don't research anything.
Sure.
I have no desire to, because I don't know how a human being can get properly informed on issues happening in another country while relying on people to actually give a factual representation of the acts that in the order that they occurred without being.
No, you're not banned. The person who's banned is Mantis Repairman, okay?
Being like pushed towards a left agenda or a right agenda, and I worry so much falling down that rabbit hole. I kind of just avoid talking about topics like that altogether. Whereas, like for example, another topic that I would feel comfortable talking about is like HRT and trans kids. I don't believe in trans kids. I believe in mentally ill parents. I don't think that you should be putting HRT into your children due to the fact that these kids are like 8 years old, they're 12 years old. Why are you trying to cancel their I guess a puberty?
Dude, this is the common sense we're talking about, dude. Stuff that like has active research and active like fucking experts debating this subject in the background. This is what you think. This is what you have takes on. Like you're not even trying at this point. Like I feel like it's crazy. It's just absolutely unhinged how like they say, oh yeah, these are common sense issues. I try not to give my input on Israel and Palestine because I don't understand that. Okay, but let me tell you why like these parents are mentally ill for trying to put their kids on puberty blockers. Like what the fuck? Dude, Jesus.
So they can become a girl better. I just think it's dumb. I think decisions like that are too serious to be making at such a young age. But yeah, that's what I would do, like common sense politics versus the informed, what we call geopolitical politics.
Yeah, sure. Or it depends. Yeah. So I'll say that there's. Okay, so there's two things going on. So one, when it comes to like larger political issues, you look like a snapping young lad who goes to the gym. Do you do like full body workouts or whatever?
Yes. Yeah, I do every day.
Okay.
I have a girlfriend who's very active in the gym, and so she makes me work out very good.
Okay. Do you do like deadlifts?
No, I don't do deadlifts. I don't do squats. But I do like so. For example, like I have a spine.
Bro, this is like his third partner in a year, or something. I swear to God. Bro.
Injury. Sure. So I have to be very careful with the lifts that I do. Deadlifts and squats are like, they're brutal for me.
Okay. Well, I was going to say for like deadlifting and squatting, these are two pretty complicated lifts. Like if you were to write it down on paper and tell somebody exactly, perfectly how to do the lifts, there's no way they'd be able to do them perfectly without a lot of practice. Like you just have to do it, right? I mean, like technically this is true even for benching, right? You look at, you bench 225, what do you do?
Bench 225 for about 48 reps over 5 sets.
Jesus Christ, you're a monster. But even, okay,
I outbench Hassan, fun fact. So
nice.
Dude made a clip the other day where he was saying, if you don't bench 225 4 or 5 times, then you can't talk about my politics. And it's like, bro, shut the fuck up. Everybody could do 225 with like 6 months of practice in the gym. It's not even hard.
Sure. Okay. So
yeah, bro is playing the romance game like his fucking Gacha games. Exactly. Dude just keeps on polling until he gets it. Dude, it's unhinged.
When it comes to doing stuff like that, you just have to like have experience, right? Like no amount of reading or research is going to give you the perfect form, is going to give you the muscles to do it. I think when it comes to a lot of political issues, so geopolitics or economics or whatever, there's not a shortcut for just kind of like having a lot of ground information and then like reading a lot
What's your bench? Which has 2 pounds, 3 pounds if we're pushing it.
of stuff. There's no way to just be able to pick out one article and discern the truth or the not truth when it comes to complicated, large-scale political issues. That's one thing I would say, but then you said you don't touch those that much, which is fine. The second thing that I kind of wonder about sometimes, so when you talk about like the HRT for kids thing, so I think that there are some issues that can be contentious. I cringe a lot when people talk about like their 4-year-olds or trans or whatever weird stuff like that.
Insane. But it's psychotic.
Yeah, for sure. But the thing that I kind of question sometimes is there's this magnitude effect that's hard to explain to somebody, where somebody can say something and it's not like wrong.
So is Tectone becoming another orbiter? He can't be Destiny's orbiter when his current when Tectone's like fucking current person that he's orbiting is Asmongold. Like he orbits Asmongold, which I mean automatically kind of,
But sometimes I wonder the response. So, for instance, like if I were to tell you, I broke up with my ex because I felt like they were, I felt like they left the house dirty. I felt like they lied to me sometimes. They stabbed me 4 times once when I was sleeping, and they said something mean about my mom. Right? Like if I presented it that way, like you would be like, wait, hold on, one of those things seemed way worse than the other thing.
Yes.
Right? It'd be like very weird how I present that, and I didn't say anything wrong, right? Like, oh yeah, there are 4 reasons why I didn't like this person. When you talk about like the HRT stuff in kids, and people have a strong feeling about that. I mean, like we can walk down that whole route. I don't care that much about it. But I guess my question is I feel like how do some people have such a strong opinion about that, but they're like indifferent to parents not vaccinating their kids against like the measles, and then their kids die of the measles? That's like a weird dichotomy to me.
I feel like there's different. Would you say? Like I feel like proper vaccinations.
Like in terms of like, I've never seen somebody who is like super hell bent against HRT for kids because of protection of the children and all that. Which I mean, I think that could be a legitimate position. But then when it comes to like people in Texas not giving their kids measles vaccines and their kids just die from the measles, like holy shit, that just seems unhinged. But like the same group of people that would have really strong opinions about the HRT stuff on the vaccine stuff, they would go, well, I think parents have a right to figure out their kids' medical decisions and the government should intervene with that. And it's like, I mean, okay, you can have that position, but then why not take the same position like the HRT stuff?
I feel like when it comes to preserving a child's life with a vaccine, I understand that. Hold up, sorry, my brain is jumbled right now. Hold on, you speak so fast.
Sorry.
No, that's okay. I'm trying to keep up. I got brain fog right now. Fuck, I don't have no B12. Yeah, I feel like a parent should be. I mean, it's probably within their right to say that for this, when a child's born, they want to make sure that the children doesn't get the measles. But I don't think a parent has the right to say, "Oh, my son is a girl because they play with Barbies," when in reality they're just gooners. Right, and they're just like looking at the naked Barbie, but there's like, oh no, I'm telling you, it's a woman trapped in my child's body. I know it is. They're begging to get out. We got to get them on HRT quick, especially when it comes to the whole power dynamic of what your mother wants you to be versus what you are as a son, and you just telling your mom anything that you will tell your mom if they want you to be a daughter. You're like, oh yeah, no, I am a girl mom 100% because you want like their appreciation and their, I guess their approval, and so kids will just do whatever they want for their parents.
Yeah, so I mean, like I said, I can understand why people be opposed to the trans stuff, but I don't understand how people can be okay with not vaccinating their kids. Like, if we're talking about like protecting children and making decisions for them that they're not capable of making yet to keep them healthy and safe, watching kids die of measles now in the United States because parents decide not to vaccinate them, I would say because people in the government.
I think parents should vaccinate their kids. I think they absolutely should be vaccinating their kids.
Yeah, but I understand that, but we run into the magnitude issue, right? So like when it comes to the vaccination stuff, you're like, I think that they should vaccinate their kids personally, but when it comes to the
it's also a problem of tone. I know, like, no one likes talking about tone because it feels like very like nitpicky, like why the fuck do you sound like this, why the fuck do you sound like that, right? But really, tone is like one of the most important things to ever police if you're actually being good faith about it, right? Like for example, all right, like if your tone all the time when you're talking about transgender stuff is like you're like the most vindictive crazy person ever, but then when you're talking about like Trump killing like over 1 million people over like COVID, and you're like, yeah, I guess that's bad. I think that's bad, right? Or, I mean, yeah, you're saying that's bad, right? You might even think that issue is like more severe than the transgender issue, right? Unironically. But the thing is that like, bro, like what are we talking about here? Like when it comes to transgender issues, it seems like you are so visceral about it, right? But then now when you talk about COVID and about like all the other things, you seem very distant. You seem like you want to hide things. You seem like you're very Weasley about it, right? So yeah, like it's not just like what words you're specifically saying, it's about the tone, right? And yeah. Tone is as important as the content of your speech. People know this inherently. If you kick me in the shins and say thanks a lot, you know what I mean? There's no confusion due to the words I use. Exactly. Yeah. Which is, yeah, it's just fucking autism. Fuck.
HRT stuff, I think you're like, that should be illegal.
Bad game, John.
Right?
I'm a bad gamer.
I think, well, I mean, yeah, I think it's a big difference, don't you think?
Well, I mean, I feel like there's at least some evidence for trans people being a real thing, regardless of how you feel they should be treated or whatever. But I don't think there's any evidence for like not vaccinating people against the measles. Like, I feel like the measles one is a much easier give me.
Yeah, I do think that every child should be vaccinated, 100%. But I feel like when you're making a life-altering decision that much, I don't think, like, I feel like the odds of, I'm a kid, I need to be trans right now or I'm going to kill myself is like, okay, well, that's probably an underlying issue.
Yeah, I mean,
right?
It could be, but I mean, like, do we think that anybody is trans, like the older people or whatever?
Do I think that older people are trans? Well, yeah, I mean, I obviously believe it is a byproduct of a mental illness, gender dysphoria.
Sure.
Right?
So, like, if there's no better way to treat it than through transitioning, I mean, obviously, the earlier you can identify, the better. If there was a different way to treat it, maybe we talk about a different way to treat it.
Do you know what is also wacky? Well, what's also wacky to me is the way that they use the term mental illness is completely different from the way that I use mental illness. I think when they use some term like mental illness, they're not actually concerned for the person, right? If I'm talking about it seriously and I'm not just like being edgy or whatever, right? When I use the term mental illness, I'm being concerned, I'm being whatever. But the way that they use mental illness is like in a way that's very much like real ableism. It's like actual real ableism, like unironically real ableism, right? Like that's the way that they use the word mental illness. Like I might be ableist as a joke or whatever, right? It's very clear to me, very clear hopefully to everyone that watches me is just like I joke about, mental illness a lot and whatever the fuck, right? But it's just very clear that, people like Tectone, people like Asmongold, they're genuinely like fucking like super ableist. Yeah. Anyway.
But I guess I feel like I feel like if somebody were to kill their kid because they tried to trans their kid and the hormones ended up killing the kid, I feel like there'd be a ton of outrage about that online. But when kids are dying from the measles, I feel like a lot of the people on the right who get super incensed over the HRT stuff just don't care that much. And that's just crazy to me. Because I feel like, at least ostensibly on one side, you can say like, well, maybe, you know, the HRT stuff, maybe there are trans people who are adults and transitional early can help. But on the measles side, like, it's just like crazy information about vaccines killing people.
How many people are dying of measles right now?
In the United States, not many, but I think that I thought it was like the first death was like 2004 or whatever. And then the outbreaks are becoming increasingly large. But I mean, also, like, how many kids are transitioning? There's like in terms of like surgeries and stuff, it's a pretty low number too, right?
Sure. I have to imagine it's on like the rising scale though. What's the suicide rate and depression rate in trans people?
Depends on whether or not I bully them. I'm just kidding. I don't know. I don't know the actual answers. I know it's supposed to be higher, but like so many people cite different numbers, and different people call different people trans. Like people will say like, well, people detransition at like a 98% rate, but when they say detransition, they're talking about people who just have felt like they were trans or non-binary. So it's hard to find the exact numbers, I guess. Yeah.
That's why I care so much about the transitioning of kids is due to the fact that it's kind of blown up out of.
Like, dude, it's just crazy how effective the conservative propaganda is, right? Because it's like, oh, I'm very concerned about like the transgender issue. Okay, do you have like a relative that is transgender? Do you have like friends who are transgender? Maybe that's why you're concerned. Like do you X and Y? Like, fuck, they never have any good reason to actually be this passionate about the issue outside of hating people who are like the X and Y, right? Like, fuck me, dude. It is so fucking crazy to me how blatant like the propaganda works, right? Yeah, it's just very unhinged and cringe, and I don't like it. Whatever.
Nowhere. Like I think the whole trans movement became very big in like 2019. At least that's when I became aware of it. 2019, 2020, and now it's kind of like a whole thing taking the world by storm right now. And I think there's a lot of people upset with it.
Also, dude, give me a break, okay? As far as I'm concerned, no one ever talks about like the COVID children that has fucking died. Okay, no, not even necessarily COVID children that has died, but any kids that die due to conservative policy or action or anything, right? They'll turn away like fucking migrant kids and fucking deport like a baby with cancer, right? But then, you know, they won't like, they're like, oh, we care about the kids. Yeah, right. You stop caring about the kid the moment they're out of the mother's womb. You only care about like the kid only up until the point where, you know, someone gives birth because of abortion, I guess. So it's cringe. Anyway.
Do we have brain transplant? Okay, here's a question. Let's say that we're 20 years into the future, we have brain transplant surgery. Let's say that I take your Rob's brain and I put it into a cis woman's body. Let's say that you wake up and you're like, this feels really wrong. I feel like I feel like a man and now I'm in a woman's body. Would you say that like that's a disorder, that you have a disorder there?
I would say I have a disorder, an illness, or something that's wrong physiologically or mentally with my body, yes.
And then what is the disorder?
The disorder is that my brain is in the wrong body.
Okay, so what is a solution for that?
Put my brain in a body that more aligns with what my brain is.
Okay, you just stated exactly. Okay, I love you. You are the most trans-positive conservative I've ever argued with. So that is exactly the position that trans people take, is what you should do is you need to make the body match what the brain says. So that's why we have things like hormone replacement therapy, sex reassignment surgery. It's to make the body.
Guys, Rob Norris said trans rights. You know how like these like transgender, you know how transgender people online love doing the said trans rights. X character said trans rights. Yeah.
Because I feel like people are okay with people transitioning when people. I can't speak for everybody. I can only speak for myself. I think everybody should have the right to do whatever they want to do once they become 18. But when they see that mindset from creators like Lily Tino, you know Lily Tino?
It sounds like a Italian version of Lily Pichu. I have no idea.
Yeah. Look into Lily Tino. Something I think I get a kick out of that. They're like a pro-trans TikToker who like teaches children why they should convert and like take HRT. And they're huge. Like they're enormous.
No. ChatGPT nor. Okay, ChatGPT nor.
And so I think people get very uptight about that. Well, once again, I can actually understand what you mean. Why people might want to take the more measles thing more seriously. But if measles were to become a bigger thing, I think people would. But I think it's because the whole trans thing right now is so huge on social media that's why they're focusing on it right now. But I feel like if it's like tens of thousands of kids are dying of measles, I'm sure people would say, hey man, we should probably stop doing this or start vaccinating our kids.
Rob GPT.
Sure, although I mean at that point, like measles I think was an eradicated disease in the United States. I think there's been 3 deaths so far, and then apparently there's over around 1,400 cases that have been confirmed. I don't know if it'll get bigger or not, but I guess the thing that I don't like about the measles stuff is that seems like a no-brainer. Like you should just probably be vaccinated against the measles.
I also absolutely agree. It should be a no-brainer. Absolutely.
Yeah. And then sometimes I worry, like the trans stuff is, I think a lot of it got kind of cringe, but I mean like you also see a lot of it's kind of course corrected too, right? The UK had their huge report, and then the medical guidelines have kind of changed. And more research has come out, to where maybe it's not good to give kids puberty blockers, before age 14 and stuff. And I feel like the science corrects over time. And I think parents, this is like a very sensitive conversation you have to have between parents and children and doctors and figuring it out. And then there's also social media stuff. Like there's a lot of stuff going on. I understand that. I guess when people's like entire political identities get wrapped up in it, that's when it starts to get weird. Kind of like the example I gave earlier about the, hating wokes, and now we're like pro, alligator Alcatraz. I feel like some of the woke people push the trend stuff on hardcore online a lot, and then somehow people become supportive of, like Trump's foreign policy. I'm like, how
is alligator Alcatraz, is that real?
Yeah, I think it's like 20 miles to the west of me. It's just like holding.
Bro, that's so cool.
Well,
what the fuck?
What? Okay,
so
but
Like the way that these people talk about these things is so fucking disgusting to me. Like, what the fuck? Oh, alligator Alcatraz, is that real? Oh, that's so cool. What? Huh? Wait, what? Dude, it's like praising. Oh, have you checked out like the recent fucking like execution chambers that Hitler has drafted up? Dude, look at the Zyklon B, dude. The Zyklon B is so fucking cool, dude. Huh? Wait, what?
by that, why?
Like the idea of that is crazy, bro. Like there's like thousands of alligators. So is it what, hold illegals or something?
I think it's just temporary holding for people who are being detained and then maybe deported or something.
Yeah, man, I would not want to end up on that, bro. That's crazy.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
I mean, it's also
that
probably not
sounds
good,
awful.
right? Yeah, it's not a good thing.
I mean, no, it's probably not, but it sounds coolish. It's very marketable. Like the merch for that has to go insane.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, I think they were trying to sell merch for it. Yeah.
Yeah. Like imagine like a bunch of.
Dude, it's so crazy. See, this is how you can tell he's an Asmund Gold Orator, dude. Just the way that he talks about it is crazy. Like it's, oh wow, it's so cool. It's so rad. It's so whatever. Oh my god. Dude.